Welcome class to Lesson 8, Close Reading. Your essential questions for today are, what is close reading? And what are the 4 parts of a close reading? By the end of this lesson, you should be able to integrate the close reading strategy to gain understanding of a text. So, what is close reading? Let me try. No, that's not it. Close reading is a careful and purposeful rereading of a text. Close reading is when you read the text multiple times, and each time you are looking for something different. You may use things such as highlighters, sticky notes. You might underline words, circle words, and make comments and notations on the side. So let's take a look at the 4 parts of a close reading. The first is language. You want to look at diction and word choice. You also want to look at what words did the author repeat or emphasize. These words have significance. Secondly, narrative. Think about who is telling the story and how it is being told. How would the story change if, let's say, someone else was telling it from a different perspective? Third is syntax. Examine the order in which the words appear, and I'm going to be showing you an example of that in the next slide. Lastly is context. Think about historical context or the author's background and how these things influence the text. All right, so here's a passage from the book, Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. Let's read. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. All right, so let's do a close reading of this passage. The first part I have over here, this first note on the right, is the narrative. This piece is about advice. It is giving the main character, who is you, advice for life. This is written in second person. It is also written in future tense. It's talking about the future to come. Second note is, if you take a look, I underlined, you'll get mixed up. This is repeated twice. And what I think it means is you're going to get confused more than once in your life. So be prepared. The third, I have strange birds here in red. What are they talking about? You're going to get mixed up with strange birds? Who are they? Well, I believe this symbolizes people. And, you're going to meet different people in your life. So you have to be careful and choose who are your friends and choose well. Also, birds could be a symbolism for freedom as well. And as you get more freedom and do more things in life, you're going to have more choices in life. And the word strange is also a synonym for unique. So thinking about that as well, being a unique person and meeting different people in your life. So just being kind of cautious. The fourth is syntax. In the beginning, we start off kind of, I want to say negative. And then as it proceeds, we end with a very positive message. But why does it say 98.75% guaranteed? Well, nothing is 100% sure in life. So you need to strive to do your best and you'll succeed. But there's always that little chance in there that you're going to come across some difficulties. Alrighty, so let's look at something else. Number 5. If you notice, great balancing act is capitalized. Well, why? Well, I think that's the whole central theme of this passage, that life is really about balance and choices and decisions. So you're going to have a lot of choices in your life. So be careful as you go along to make the right choices and meet the right friends. All right, and lastly, the context. This was written in 1990, and Dr. Seuss passed away in 1991, so this was his last publication. So I feel as though this was sort of like, his last piece of advice for life and, just for meeting your goals. So this definitely has significance to this passage. So again, as you notice, we have really looked at the pieces and the words and the phrases in this passage and tried to find a deeper meaning. And that's what close reading is. It's finding out what you can discover reading more than once. And can you find, these things that are hidden in here? Because sometimes when authors write, they don't just lay it all out for you. You really have to dig into text to discover some really great things. All right, so now that you have an idea of what close reading is, I want you to practice. Next time you have to read something, the first time you read it for comprehension. Know what it's generally about. What is the main idea about? Could you answer some basic questions? The second time you read, go through and look for the 4 parts of close reading. Can you look at the language and write some notes? Can you determine who's telling the story and write some notes there? Syntax, look at the word order and how it is written. And lastly, think about the author's background. You may need to do a little bit of research. All right, so here's your checklist for today. Do you know the 4 parts of a close reading? And can you define close reading? If not, go back and review this video again. If you can do these things, answer the questions below this video. Have a great day.